Hey folks, this is Scott at the X-Fed Homestead. Well, it is a scorcher today. It's over 90 degrees in the shade and the humidity is plenty high. And I finally decided to get out here. I've got about an hour before I go to the gym tonight, and there's supposed to be some rain in the forecast, so I wanted to get my potatoes out of the ground. If you take a look over here, let me show you. It's actually, you got to turn around here. Right in front of those row covers, you can see that the potatoes are as dead as a doornail. It's definitely time to pick them out of the ground. I don't want to leave them in the ground for too long, or else they may rot. Now at the end of the row, you can see that I have my russet potatoes, different kind of potatoes from the Yukon Golds that I have in the rest of the row there. And those russet potatoes are starting to die back, so they'll probably be ready in a couple weeks. And right below me, I have some volunteer potatoes that are just starting to die away. I don't think they're Yukon Golds. They might be the Russian fingerling potatoes from last year is what I'm thinking. So just today I'm going to pick the Yukon Gold potatoes. The volunteer Russian fingerling potatoes that you saw aren't ready yet, and neither are the russet potatoes over there. So I'm going to let those go for a while and focus on the Yukon Gold potatoes, so they're not sitting in the ground getting soaked with the upcoming rain and rotting under the ground. So let's pick them. We've got an hour. Let's get to work. So here I want to show you a technique of mine that I use that makes digging potatoes easier for me. You don't know what's under the soil, but you kind of can tell where your plants are that there's probably going to be some potatoes there, at least underneath, and they spread out a bit. But as I've been going, I dig a hole and I throw the dirt to my left, which creates a pile. And so when I take a pitchfork full of dirt, I throw it onto this pile and the potatoes will roll out. Let me see if I can make that work right now. So I got my pitchfork in here and I just pull it up, and here, well, I got some earthworms, but these potatoes fell out over here. So if I take another shovel full of dirt, I got the plant and outroll the potatoes. So that's ideally what I want from this. And it helps me especially find the little tiny potatoes, like, oh, you see over here, there's some small ones. And these small potatoes will grow next year. And I'm not gonna put potatoes here next year, but the potatoes that I leave are gonna grow anyway. So that helps me find those little potatoes so I have less problems to deal with next year. This one's for tomorrow. I'll put it with the other one. Well, that's it. That is a good bit of work. Let's take a look and see what we got. Here's what we got. Our nice path is filled with potatoes. There are a lot of small ones there, but there are plenty of big ones. I certainly got a good sweat out of harvesting those potatoes. And look at these things. These are good sized potatoes. That is a full meal right there. You can bake these up and you're gonna have a good time with those. Now I'm happy I did this today. Like I said, we're expecting rain and we had some rain last week. So if you look real close here, there you can see right over here, there's a rotted one. And so if you leave them in the ground while the plants are dead, they absorb some moisture. Some of them will rot. That's why I wanted to get them out of the ground. I had like 6 rotted ones. There's another one over here that I threw over there. And I only stuck those 2 right there with the pitchfork. So I'll have to eat those tomorrow for breakfast. But otherwise, that is a good looking harvest of potatoes. So I hope that you enjoyed this and learned a little bit about harvesting potatoes. A few tips and tricks. You want to make sure they're not in the ground too long after the plants die back. When they die back, you can pick them anytime. Usually I let them stay in the sun and dry off for a day or so, and then I'll throw them in a milk crate. But it's going to rain tonight. I'm going to put them all in a milk crate and put them in a cool place so that they can cure and the skins can thicken up. Unfortunately, my hour is up. That was a bit of a workout, but now I got to head to the gym, so I'll pack these up when I come back. Well, I'm back from the gym, and digging potatoes and then going to the gym wasn't the best plan I ever made. But I'm a little tired now. But it started to rain, and it poured. And my potatoes are out here on the ground, so I want to put them in a milk crate. I caught a little break in the action right now. The rain slowed down. It's just drizzling right now. So I'll pick up these potatoes, get them inside, and get them dried off. Now that is a solid bunch of potatoes. Well, that was some hard work, but definitely worth it to get the potatoes in the basement. Well, I'll get them dried off and stored in there. And well, these potatoes are going to last all fall, winter, and into spring. So for the 2 of us, that'll be fantastic. And I've got some more potatoes coming. I got the russet potatoes, and I have some volunteer fingerling potatoes that are coming up. So I'll have plenty for the winter. Don't worry about me. The harvest is starting, and it's going great. I've gotten some great zucchinis this week, some beautiful tomatoes. I made a nice caprese salad with the tomatoes and the mozzarella cheese on them with oil, and some fresh basil that I have growing up on the deck. So a lot of good things going on. My wife made cucumber salad with the cucumbers we've had. Haven't had great luck with the cucumbers this year, but I've had some really good ones, and so we use those up certainly. And there's a lot more gardening to go. It's just the beginning of August now, and so we have a long way to go with our garden. and I already started some succession planting. So I'm really happy about that. That's one of the goals that I wanted to meet this week. Anyhow, the rain's getting a little worse, so I'm gonna go in. This is Scott at the XFed Homestead. We'll see you next time.